Yeah, so I was going to a decision, man. I don't know who's gonna win. Tough fight. Hopefully Ramos wins.
I think we are live.
All right.
If you can check it,
Yeah, I'm checking now. Yeah, so I was in another dude's channel. He's kind of up and coming dude. Um,
all right, man. I think we
yeah,
are live.
yeah, it's live now. Yeah.
It's MMA Newsroom, streaming with my co-host tonight from the Kings of MMA channel, doing Dos Anjos versus Lee fight night. So, what do you think about?
Man, so far I think the fight card has been great, man. It's a lot of upsets going on the fight card earlier in the prelims. So yeah, it's awesome right now. We're headed to a decision at the moment with AB Ramos and Austin Hubbard.
And can you give us an update about the fights already done?
Yeah, the fight was just done. Davy Ramos just won by unanimous decision, and yeah, it was a tough fight. I mean, this guy stepped up from LFA here, Austin Hubbard, and he put up a pretty good fight. So, as always, to go to the decision with Davy Ramos just shows that he's a tough guy.
Yeah, David. Yeah, decision goes to Jose Ramos, Davy Ramos for decision, and it was a tough fight. And I think you can tell the viewers next fight coming up.
Yeah, I mean, you said who could be a next opponent for him?
Yeah, who you think is next for him?
Um, Davy Ramos, right now I think he's on a little win streak here. He's trying to climb up the rankings. So tough fight. I mean, anyone maybe in the top 10 would be a good fight for him now. I think he deserves it. He deserves a high quality fight. Um,
Yeah, I think he's ready for to make the step up. Step up. All right, that was the first fight of the main card. Uh, Next fight coming
so
up. What is your opinion about the next fight coming up?
between Charles Oliveira and Nick Lentz here.
Yeah, that's the next fight. I think.
Yeah, so this is the third time that these guys are gonna fight here. This is the third fight between them. One ended in a no contest, and the second fight that they had, Charles Oliveira won by submission in the third round. So these guys, they're no strangers to fighting each other, and I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I think they know each other's game plan. They met each other before in the octagon, so I think it's gonna be a good fight.
So maybe we're gonna see two fighters who has had each other's number here in the next fight. So looking forward to this. So how do you like the graphics?
Oh man, I love it, man. Well designed as always.
That's
That
always
guy does it again.
that's the guy for the graphics. You can call him.
Yeah, but I like to, he's on a 4-fight win streak now, Davey Ramos. I want to get back to that question. I mean, anyone really in the top 10, I think at 155, he deserves a big fight now, man.
He deserves the step up now. I have to
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
I would like to maybe see him fight someone like OAM from Canada.
Olivier Aubin-Mercier.
Yeah,
He's
I think that'd be a nice tough fight. Two
that
good solid grapplers, and I think it'd be a nice fight. It'd be a step up in competition for sure
for sure.
for Ramos.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also a nice matchup. It's a good skill sets. Skill set versus skill set. I think you're gonna see a good fight.
Yeah,
So they're now showing a promo. Donald Cerrone. You know, he's gonna fight Tony Ferguson. What are your opinions about that matchup?
man, that's a tough fight to call. I mean, Cerrone's been looking good lately, man. Ever since he became a father, I mean, it seemed like he sparked something under him. And this dude, he's putting on good quality fights. I mean, the fight against Ally Quinn, he dominated him. And but I just think Tony Ferguson, he's a lot. I mean, size wise, he's a lot bigger than Ally Quinn, and he pressures a lot better than Ally Quinn does. Ally looked like he was trying to counter strike in that fight. I think that Tony Ferguson is going to force Cerrone really to fight him, and I think Tony should get it done, man. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's difficult because I also thought Iaquinta will get it done against Cerrone, but I always pick against Cerrone and somehow he always wins. So and then you have also the fact Tony has a long layoff and Cerrone is constantly being in camp, so he will come out in good shape.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough fight, man. But
All right,
I don't know.
what's the graphics? There are no viewers, so
Yeah, so far, I
you
think it said one watching. I think.
that's you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or
You see the graphics,
yeah, I see it, the Kevin Lee. I
and
see your picture and my picture right here.
and
Yeah, I see it.
do you also see the scroll bar in the white square,
Yeah, it's moving. I see it. Uh,
and also the moving background, the space background.
yeah, I see it. It looks good, man.
Yeah, lots going on, man.
You know what you're doing for sure,
Yeah,
man.
that's OBS, man. I gonna learn you that. I,
Yeah,
if
I gotta upgrade my thing.
if you have your new laptop, we're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna sit and we're gonna share the screen, and then we're gonna learn. I gonna learn it.
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, man. So, what do you keep key to a win for Nick Lentz? How do you think you can win this fight?
Yeah,
You,
I think Joe Bronx gonna submit him, man. Uh, these guys fought uh, each other two times earlier, and uh, he won two times, and he's got very much different submissions, man. Rear nakeds, calf slicers, you name it, and he's got it, man. So he's got far more weapons than Lance, but Lance will always be he's a very tough guy, very durable guy. So, but I still go for Oliveira in a second round submission.
yeah, I think, man. If Nick Lentz, he has ways though to win. If he lands the takedowns, probably keep the fight in the clinch, uh, keep Charles back against the cage, and you know defend the submissions. He maybe could possibly grind out a decision, but like you said, I mean, he has to do the right things. Charles Oliveira is a tough guy, you know, to take down, and especially not get submitted by him.
Yeah, for sure. Charles Oliveira is a tough guy.
By far, one of the best submission fighters in the UFC. I think he holds the record for most submission wins in the UFC.
Yeah, he holds the records for most submission wins, and if I recall correctly, he also holds the record for most uh, different submissions. I think
Yeah,
he's got eight different submissions. Right, it's
yeah,
gonna be a
man.
good matchup.
Yeah, so they're walking down here to the octagon. Nick Lentz.
Is he got a kickboxing background, right? Nick Lance.
He's more of a wrestler.
All
He's
right.
more of yeah. I'll say more of a wrestling background. Have you seen his last fight with Scott Holtzman? Tough fight. The decision they gave it to Nick Lentz. Um, some people thought Scott Holtzman won that fight, but he really took down Scott pretty much the entire fight and just you know tied him up against the cage and hold him in the clinch and land body shots and wear him out and won a decision. So that's usually more of his game plan. He's more of a guy that likes to likes to take down and impose the will on you. I mean, he did get a big knockout win over Gray Maynard.
Yeah,
So I mean, he kind of improved on his stand up, but I think when he's fighting a higher level fighter like Charles, I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference.
I think you're right on that. And also, I think I'm not so happy judges rewarding the grind and the stalling in matches, man. I think if you're for 3 rounds hanging on someone's legs or pushing them against the fence, that's not fighting, man. That's stalling.
Uh,
I want to see striking, kicking.
yeah, man. I mean, the UFC striking compared to like the Glory or K1 fighters, I mean, it's a huge difference.
Yeah,
Like when you see K1 fighters standing and trading, it's so much different compared to the UFC.
that's real striking, man.
It's real different, man. It's like way different levels. I mean, they had some good fights on ONE FC also, and they had some good kickboxing fights on there. Sage Northcutt got knocked out, man.
Yeah, man. He was viciously knocked out, man.
Yeah,
Still, no, still no viewers, man. But that's okay. We can train. We can yeah. We can practice it. No problem.
practice on what?
Yeah, just practicing some streaming, some graphics.
Yeah, but they're announcing the fighters now. Are you watching it
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm
on
watching.
ESPN Plus now, or are
I'm
you
watching.
still watching the stream?
No, watching the stream, man.
All right. So here it goes right now, man. They're about to start fighting. Nick Lentz, he got the nice little the bowl cut haircut, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
So here they go.
You see somebody in the chat?
Um, yep. MMA newsroom. It's in the house.
You have to watch the chat for me because I can do that all at once.
Yeah, I got it. I'm watching it on my laptop.
All right. Can you type a message? Let's see if it. All right. I see you now. Two watching. That's you and me.
Yep.
We're watching our own stream, man. Okay. Fight started, man. Good leg kick
So
from
yeah,
good leg kick from
they're
Lance.
tying up in the clinch now. Nick Lance here.
You are in front of me, man.
Yeah, because of the ESPN.
Give me a time. Give me a time check.
I'm at 350.
All right. I think it's better that I do the commentary then, because
Oh,
otherwise, otherwise,
we're gonna be talking about two.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
All right, guy. What do you think about this matchup? I think we see already uh, Oliveira's the more skilled fighter here, more technique.
Definitely better on the feet. I think I have to agree with you on that.
You see, good, good flurry from Oliveira here. Lance backing up. Good high kick blocked by Oliveira. Good low kick. Lance is doing a lot of striking, but also a lot of air striking. I see. All right, both fighters in the clinch. Oliveira comes out, break the clinch up with a nasty elbow. Lance comes back with a good jab. Good leg kick from Lance. His leg kick has good power on it.
Man, these guys, you see that Nick Lentz is cut open now?
Yeah, you see a little cut there.
Yep, right above his eye there.
That
I
is
mean,
the
these guys are standing and banging right so far, huh?
that's a stanging and banging match indeed. But I feel Oliveira's done just a little more than Lance, and also the cut also helps with the jury. I think that cut came from the elbow breaking up the clinch. Okay, 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. Good high kick from Oliveira right on his chin of Lance, and Lance responds with the takedown. But Oliveira got stop position.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Lentz here.
Now we're gonna see
Definitely not.
some BJJ skills from Oliveira here. I feel side control, half of side control, kind of. All right, north south position now. Back to south control. Nasty elbow from Oliveira. He's a very good scrambler. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see.
anytime that Oliveira is on top of you, that's a position you don't want to be in. On your back against a high level jiu-jitsu fighter like that.
Yeah, man, you're a bad place when Oliveira's on top of you. You can see the scrambles, the transitions, all going very smooth, very fast. Yes, you can see this guy is high level BJJ. I think I'm gonna give the first round to Oliveira, 10-9. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Charles got that round for sure.
Yeah,
10-9.
10-9 round for Oliveira. 15 seconds on the clock here.
Sir.
All right. Can you see if we have some viewers or still none?
Yeah, no, we it shows that we got four right now, or so that's probably like two, right? Two and two.
Yeah, I've got to take first round to Oliveira, and let's see how the cut heels hold up from Lance. It's a bad place for the cut, right between his left, above his left eye. So we have to watch that also. That's not a very good place to have a cut. So
Uh,
let's see what's happened.
yeah, you never know. These doctors, they might stop the fight, so they got to do a good job keeping that cut down. Wow, nice little takedown, Nick Lance of his own here.
All right, second round on the way. My good friend Henry Hooft in the corner. You know
Yeah, man,
he was my
yeah, he's been training a lot of most of the MMA fighters.
I
They're stand up
he trained me
in
for
Florida.
he trained me for some 15 years. He was my neighbor. He lived in a house next to me.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that dude's one of the best trainers in the game right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was a very good
he's working
striker.
with everyone.
He was a very good striker also himself, and a lot of people forgot he was also fighting in the K1 final. He lost that final, but he was fighting in the K1 final.
Yeah, he's working. That Luke Rockhold, he left AKA just to go over there to train with him.
Yeah, a
I
lot of
mean, he has his own gym in Florida.
hard knocks,
Everybody's working with him.
hard knocks 365.
Yeah, they doing pretty well too.
Yeah, he got his first champion, Kamaru Usman. I spoke to him.
Yeah,
I spoke to him about it, and he was over the moon.
yeah. I think he was training at Black Zillions at first, and then he got his own gym.
Yeah, he had some problems with the Black Syrians, and then he went away to start up his own gym.
Yeah, but most of the fighters from Black Zillions, they followed him. Most of them.
Yep.
I mean, the owner of Black Zillion, he had passed away.
All right. Referee's gonna get a point from Oliveira here. What's happening?
Oh wow. I mean,
Uh, I think he got a eye poke. All right. Back to the position. Lands on top of Oliveira. 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, and here we go again.
yeah, man, we're like a good 30 seconds apart, man.
Yeah.
Now he's yeah.
Both fighters standing up
Ooh,
again. Good knee from Oliveira to the body, and
wow.
Lance grinding him out to the fence. But Oliveira reverses it back. Both fighters back in the middle of the ring. Good push kick from Oliveira here. Oliveira is using the push kicks a lot. Good 1-2 from Lance. Ooh, good straight right hand from Oliveira. Put Lance down, and it's all over. A straight hand and some hammer fist did the trick for Charles Oliveira, second round stoppage, man. That was a great, great straight right hand.
Yeah, man. Wow. He really has improved on his stand up. He's showing that, you know, he's more diverse now. He's not just the black belt in jiu jitsu. He can also put the hands on you and put you out.
For sure, man. He's a very high level jiu-jitsu guy, but also his striking is improving. Here it is again. He catches the he catches the body kick from Oliveira and come back with a straight, very hard straight right hand, right on the button, and down go lands and finish him off with a few hammer fists, but that was not needed anymore. So Charles Oliveira wins by second round TKO. All right, what can you tell us about the next fight?
So the next fight on the card, see here, it's gonna be between this. I think isn't it gonna be? I think it's gonna be Antonio Carlos Jr. and Ian Heinich.
I think you're right, but you can't trust the UFC cards because a lot of times they're not accurate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cause on shirt, I was looking at Sherdog, and it's saying that it should be Vicente Luque versus Derek Krantz, but I think it should be Antonio Carlos Jr. and Ian Heinich.
All right, we're gonna see.
Let's, let me see on Tapology.
Ooh,
Sherdog sometimes have their shit mixed up.
yeah, but the UFC also.
Wait, did they? I think they moved Ian Heinich and Carlos Jr. to the co-main event or something, because that's what it's saying here. I guess it's Vicente Luque fighting. What thing? Uh, yeah, don't you have that car thing? Shoot it. Hey, you do. You sent that thing to those dudes. Yeah, but Luque should get this fight done. Derek Krantz is taking that fight on short notice, man.
Yeah,
You know that, right?
yeah, man.
He was he was actually on an episode of the Dana White looking for a fight that just aired like yesterday.
Oh, was he?
At first, Dana White didn't want to give him a contract, but said he liked his attitude and he liked his energy, and he gave him a contract to fight in the UFC. So, yes, this is his fight.
Yeah, he's
Cause he says he's an older guy. That's why he didn't really want to give him a contract because he's 31 years old or something like that. And Dana, he just said fuck it. He liked his attitude.
all right. Charles Oliveira asking for a top five fighter next after this win.
Do you think he deserves it?
I think he is high level enough to fight the top five fighter, man. He's improving on his striking and his BJJ. Yeah, we saw that. It's off the charts. I think one of the best, as you said earlier, one of the best BJJ practitioners in MMA today.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he deserves a top five guy, or should he get a top 10 guy first? I mean, Nick Lancey's a pretty tough guy, but he's not top five or top 10 material. and his last win before he beat Nick Lentz, he subbed Jim Miller. So it's like, I mean, he's not beating. He beat David Tamer and Jim Miller. It's not like he's beating you know, the cream of the crop.
All right, man. Can you write a message in the chat for me? It's just checking if the chat is working. We lost two viewers. We lost.
Yeah,
We have now only two viewers left. That's you and me, I think.
yeah, it's all good, man. It's the first time for everything.
You're doing great, man.
Yeah,
I need you to write a message in the chat for me so I can check if they're coming through. Right, thanks,
yeah,
man. Good job.
yeah. But who would you like to see him fight against in the lightweight division? Who you think he makes a good matchup with?
I think I'm not gonna see two high-level BJJs. I want to see a BJJ versus a striker. Otherwise, you get only see groundwork.
I mean, you have any name in mind who you like to see him fight?
Oh man, not really. Uh,
Not right off the bat.
Not really. At the top of my head, I can think. I think I can think one. The most are having fights lined up already. So, who do you think is free to fight
Um,
in the top five?
in the top five, I mean, to be honest, I would like to see him get a crack at somebody in the, anywhere from the top 10. Um, I think that'd make sense for him. But at the lightweight division, let's take a look here at the rankings. I mean, I wouldn't mind to see him fight someone. I mean, I don't know how they like to make it work. I mean, Edson Barbosa, he's coming off a loss. I don't know if they want to match him up with a guy off of a win, but I think that'd be a nice matchup. I would like to see Edson Barbosa and Charles Oliveira fight. Classic striker versus classic grappler.
Yeah, that's maybe one of the best matchup to make. I have to agree with you on that. All right, man. We're gonna see a promo here. Kamaru Usman. Did you hear Tyron Woodley is pulling out the fight with Robbie Lawler? He's injured.
Yeah, I heard about the news. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that it happened. I mean, I really didn't want to watch them fight again, man. To be honest, I like to see the Lawler Askren fight before that, man. I
Yeah, the
mean,
rematch. You want to see the rematch?
yeah, I mean, if they're gonna do a rematch, they should have done the Ben Askren Lawler rematch. So they inducted Sugar Rashad Evans into the Hall of Fame. He's just been inducted. True legend, a former UFC light heavyweight champ, and he deserves it, brother.
Yeah,
Ultimate Fighter winner, also.
I think he deserves it very much.
Yeah, man.
He's looking good, man.
Yeah, I mean, to be up there in age, he still looks like a young guy, man.
He's looking like a young guy indeed.
That dude, man. I remember that fight with Brad Imes, the one that put him really on the map.
Yeah, that was.
Big fight. I mean, that was a he's fight. He was his last fight was at middleweight, and he was fighting against a dude who was 6'7", And Brad Hines was like 260, dude. And Rashad Evans got a lot of heart. He still stood and banged with that giant, dude.
for sure. All right.
So, have you had a chance to take a look at the upcoming fight on Thursday? This coming Thursday, we got the PFL coming up.
No chance to watch the card, but I heard there are some pretty good matchups in there.
Yeah, you got Lance Farmer fighting. He was a guy who trained at Team Alpha Male with Faber and Chad Mendez, and they got some alright, decent fights on this card, man. If you get a chance, just take a look at it, check it out. It'll be on Thursday.
And that's coming up.
Yeah, on May 23rd,
Uh,
PFL 2019 regular season. Lance Palmer versus Alex Gilpin. So yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, man. Anytime you could get a chance to watch a Lance Palmer fight,
yeah, Lance
it's
Palmer's a
gonna
good
be a
fighter.
good card. They also got the former champ Andre Harrison fighting on that card. They got the UFC fighter who fought in the Ultimate Fighter show at Ramsey Ninja. So they got some decent, alright fights, man.
Yeah, for sure, they got some decent fighters.
And also a guy who fought in the UFC, Rashid Magomedov. He was in the UFC. That dude's a tough dude, man.
Yeah, he's a Sambo guy, right?
Yep. He
Yeah,
used to be on. I remember EA2 on the UFC game. They used to have him on there.
yeah.
Yeah,
All that Sambo guys are tough to fight, man.
man. If you fight any Russian, it's tough to fight.
Yeah,
Man, those dudes,
for sure,
their
man.
grappling is on another level, man.
The grappling, the
Most,
precision, and the strength also, man.
yeah, yes, sir. They didn't say it on there.
What do you think about Neil Magny is flagged by USADA?
I think he need. I mean, I think he was a. He's pretty much a coward for that, man. I mean, I guess he might maybe needed it for his chin, man. After getting knocked out by Santiago Ponzinibbio, he probably thought he needed some steroids, man. I mean, his chin is not the best. He can't really absorb damage like that. I mean, so maybe he needed that edge to help him out. But a man who needs to cheat, I think, is a coward in my eyes, man.
Yeah, he was on the skid down skid, so I think there's a good possibility that he did it on purpose. But we never know, man. We have to wait until we get the decision.
Yeah, man. I mean, Magni. I mean, to be honest, I was really high on the guy at one point. I mean, I actually thought he had what it takes to possibly be a champ down the road. I mean, I seen him compete in the Ultimate Fighter, and I seen him. He's a guy who could recover pretty well after taking a lot of damage and come back after guys like fatigue and pick him apart with his long range. And to see him go out like that is kind of a letdown, man. To be honest,
Yeah,
I actually had him winning against Santiago Ponzinibbio. I thought he was gonna be able to outwork him, take him down, use his grappling, but he didn't even shoot for one takedown. I don't think that fight, man. But
you never know, man. But we gotta see what's gonna happen. All right, man. Next fight up, Vicente Luque versus Derek Krantz, who got this fight on very short notice. I think it was 2 days or so.
Yeah, Derek Krantz just on the Dana White looking for a fighter show, and now here he is making his debut.
Debut on
I
the big
think,
stage, man.
yeah, is it, the question is how is he gonna handle the pressure? I
That's
mean, I know he.
that's a very good point, man. Sorry, I have to interrupt you.
Oh no, that's good. And Vicente Luque, he was another guy who trained at Black Zillions. He competed on a season of Ultimate Fighter when it was Team Black Zillions versus American Top Team, and so he's been around the game. And like I said, anyone who competes in that atmosphere in the Ultimate Fighter, having to live with all these type of fighters, it really makes you a tough fighter here.
All right, man. Terrence, hypo nipple. I'm gonna adjust my volume. Thank you for the update.
So we got they said Dutch guy volume is low here from Terrence in the comment section.
Yeah, we have to adjust that. So I think you can introduce the fighters here. I'm gonna
So
adjust my volume.
so Derek Krantz, he's just making his way down to the octagon here. So he's heading in here. He's looking real confident going into this fight on short notice. Like maybe he knows something that we don't know, you know. But if I had to place money on the line and place a bet, my money would be on Vicente getting it done. I just think his striking is gonna play a big role. Even his submission game is something you got to watch out for. Um,
Yeah, I got Vicente Luque also in this one, but I am 3 out of 7 in this event, man. So that's very bad. All right, who you got for the next fight? Let us see your picks in the comment section, guys. It's Derek Krantz versus Vicente Luque. We're gonna see the upset there. It's
you
looking.
never know in this sport, man. You can't. The thing is, you can't count out any fighter in the UFC. I mean, if they're there here fighting, they're here for a reason. That they're one of the best fighters in the world. So you just can't just count out a guy just because he's making a debut and we haven't really seen him at the huge stage like the UFC. Doesn't mean he's not a talented fighter.
For sure, for sure, and also furthermore, it only takes one punch, man, with the 4 ounce gloves. So if you don't have to be a better fighter. If you just land one punch on the button, it's all over.
Uh, I mean, Derek Krantz, his record isn't the best. He's 23-10, but I mean, that just shows the guy has a lot of experience in my eyes. It doesn't mean that he's a slouch. It means that to me, he's a journeyman and he has a lot of experience. I mean, Vicente, he doesn't have that many fights, so this guy's probably seen more things being in the fight game that long.
Thank you for the update, Terrence. Adjusted the volume. So Derek Krantz, 31 years old, 5 feet 11, 5 feet 10. I'm sorry. Vicente Luque, 27 years old, 5 feet 11. This is now the co-main event.
No, sir. The Ian Heinisch fight versus Antonio Carlos Jr. was moved up to the co-main event.
Olympus in the house. Hoe gaat het, jongen? Sorry, I'm talking Dutch to my good friend.
So, someone yelled out "yo" in the chat room.
It's my colleague in the chat room, Olympurest. I think he is
Uh,
working night shift. Are you working
yes,
night
sir.
shift, man?
Oh wow, these dudes are banging. Oh wow. Hey, Dutch room. I need to take a little break for 1 second. All right, I'll be right back.
All right, man. Goed om te horen, jongen, dat het goed gaat. All right. Vicente Luque, Derek Krantz. And Luque already got get his neck. And we're only 20 seconds in the fight. Oh, he got his neck, but he's Derek Krantz now throwing on the ground, and Luke is trying to stand up with his back against the fence. And you got to get respect to Krantz for taking this fight against a very tough opponent on 2 days' notice. Both fighters against the fence. Not much happening. And now Derek Krantz got the back from Vicente Luque. And he's trying to flat him out. But using a lot of energy, man. When this fight goes to the later rounds, he maybe will paying for that. Derek Krantz got his neck, but Vicente Luque is fighting the hands. And Luque has no Derek Krantz transitioning to top position now in kind of side control. No. And a little bit of stalemate here, middle of the ring. Derek Krantz still got the neck of Luque, but he's burning up his arms, man. You can't do that for that amount of time. And now both fighters standing up. And I think Derek Krantz's arms are burnt now because he's using a lot of energy. Both fighters middle of the ring. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And quite an even round.
So, Krantz is looking pretty good, huh?
Yeah, Derek Krantz doing some work on the back of Luque. Oh, good low kick. Buckled the leg from Derek Krantz there. Good low kick from Luque. Good straight left from Luque. 1-2 combination missing for Krantz. Luque pushing forward. Ooh,
Looks
Luque.
like
Short left hook. And I
looks
think
like Krantz
it's
is in
all over.
trouble.
It's all over. Vicente Luque. First round TKO after a very short hard left hook, man. But gotta respect Derek Krantz for taking this fight at short notice. Man.
definitely. And before he got TKO'd, he put up a hell of a fight before it had to end this way. I'm pretty sure we'll see him again in the octagon. I mean, and the thing is, the real key question is how would he do on a full camp? Not just taking the fight on short notice like this. If he had a whole full training camp, he probably could have competed a lot better. I think Dana White would give him another chance in the UFC. What do you think, Dutch guy?
Yeah, I think you're right. He deserves a fair chance because you can't take a fight on 2 days notice, and especially not against Luca. I feel he's just too good for that. Good stoppage from Dan Mergliotta. All right. Next fight up will be.
The next fight here on the card. So we got Megan Anderson versus Felicia Spencer.
All right.
So I got Megan Anderson winning this fight here, but Felicia Spencer, we know she's making her debut in the UFC here. She might have the grappling advantage. Felicia Spencer, I think, was a Victor champion before she got the call up to the UFC.
Yeah, she's an infected champion, and she's very short, but she's must be a good fighter because yeah, she's an infected champion. So this will be a good matchup, and let's see what's gonna happen here. All right. After this card, we have a week off, no UFC, and then we're gonna see a very, very good card in UFC Stockholm, man. We have Gustafsson versus Smith. We have Manuel on the card. We have uh, two, three more very good fights. So, what do you think about that card, King of MMA?
Talking about
Stockholm.
okay, Alexander Gustafsson versus Anthony Smith on June 1st. Yeah, man, I think it's a great fight card, man. A
You,
great main event.
you got
Um,
Manuel fighting, also fighting, and we got two more very good fights on it also.
yeah, I mean, the main event is a great fight. Some people will still argue and say, why is Anthony Smith fighting a main event fight? I mean, I'm not really that high on the guy, to be honest. I mean, he's
Uh,
a tough fighter. He's durable. I respect him. But when he's fighting these high level guys like John Jones and Alexander Gus, I don't think he could compete with those guys, man. I mean, yeah, he beat Rashad Evans and Shogun, but those guys are past their prime. You know what I mean?
yeah, but he's a good fighter, but he's maybe there was no not a lot choice in light heavyweight also. So you're gonna rise the ranks pretty fast if you're having a few wins. But
I mean,
he has some
in
good
my
wins.
opinion, I think other guys deserve, to fight Gus before Anthony Smith. I mean, guys like Corey Anderson, guys who's been fighting the light heavyweight division for a long time, and He just gets in the division and just skips everyone and gets a title shot. And now he's fighting against Gus. So it's like I don't know. I think he's getting special treatment in my eyes, man.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, man.
He skipped all the tough guys at light heavyweight just and gets a title shot. What about the guys who've been in the division for years? I mean, this guy he hasn't even been in the light heavyweight division for a whole year yet, and he's fighting all the big names.
Yeah, that's right, man. We got also the comeback from Johnny Walker. We has been to shoulder surgery and is recovering now. And he also want to make a fast turnaround, he said. So we got to see who's fighting him.
Yeah, yeah. This card, I see this card is pretty packed, man. You got Vulcan Ozdemir versus Latifi also. So man, that's a big fight card. And then you got Jimmy Manawa and Alexander Rackett. That guy, that
Yeah,
dude, he just beat uh, Devin Clark by TKO. Manawa's coming off a loss to Thiago Santos. So
yeah, pretty
it's gonna
good card.
be. Who do you think could take that one?
You mean Manuel versus Rakic?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not so keen on Manuel, man. Uh,
yeah. I
I,
think Alexander is gonna knock him out,
yeah,
man.
I think you're right, man. Alexander was a good fighter, and Manuel. I was never keen on Jimmy Manuel, so I pick Rakic in that one. All right, guys. Next fight up, Megan Anderson, and she's fighting. I think you know it because I forgot.
Felicia Spencer.
Felicia Spencer, thank you, King of MMA, joining us here on the live stream. So take a look at his channel, doing some great breakdowns, predictions, also boxing. So give him some support on his channel, King of MMA, joining us tonight on the live stream. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So what do you think Megan Anderson has to do to be successful and getting the W here? What do you think is her keys to victory to win this fight?
I think, yeah, she's very well known for her ground and pounder, and yes, I think Felicia is a pretty good wrestler. Also, she's very stocky, so usually the very stocky guys and girls are more difficult to take down than a longer person. So I think if she can take Felicia down and ground and powder, she has a big chance, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that.
Megan Anderson 9-3 in the UFC now. Felicia Spencer, former Invicta champion, 6-0 coming from Invicta. So will be a good one also.
So we did pretty good. I mean, on the prelims we did pretty bad. Then we got on a little win streak.
Yeah, we are now on a little win streak. Yeah,
Yeah, man. So we're not doing too bad. I mean, the prelims, pretty tough fights to call anyway. So it happens. You can't get them all right.
you can't get them all right. That's exactly the case, man.
And a lot of these fights were like, Trevin Giles versus Zach Cummins was really a veteran taking on a young prospect, and the veteran with more experience got it done. So you can't really be mad at that. It's just just
Yeah,
one of those things, you know. It's either you go with the young youth with less miles on them, or you go with a guy who has more experience in the fight game.
yep.
I
Things.
mean, in Grant Dawson, I mean, wow, a submission in round two over Michael Trezano.
Yeah,
That was a big win.
that was a big win for sure, man. All right, I think
And you,
I'm gonna
you
take a
called
little.
that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I called that one, but I have to. I had to every time, every event I pick one dog, and he was my dog for this event. So I I I I urged myself every event pick one dog. All right, guys, I have to go to a short break, and I'm gonna leave you for a few minutes. So my co-host for tonight will take over. The floor is
All
yours,
right,
man.
all right. So we got Megan Anderson, Felicia Spencer here fighting. We know Felicia Spencer is making her debut. She has a record of 6-0, so she's an undefeated fighter. She hasn't tasted the loss yet. Um, Most of her wins are by submission. She has three submission victories, one TKO, and two decision wins. But she's taking on a girl who's no stranger to fighting in the UFC, Megan Anderson. She competed against Holly Holm and also competed against Kat Zagano. So she faced some of the best women in her weight class. Um, one thing that stands out to me in this fight is the reach and height advantage that Megan Anderson is gonna have. She's fighting out of Australia. Most of her wins are from TKO, so it's gonna be an interesting fight here. Really, more of a stand-up versus grappler fight, I think. But I think Megan Anderson is gonna be able to stay out on the outside, use her reach, pick her apart. That's what I'm thinking and hoping she's gonna do. But in this game, you never know what can happen. Uh, Felicia Spencer, maybe he's gonna tie her up, get the takedowns, possibly win the decision. It's really who's gonna impose their will and then who's gonna stick to the game plan better. I mean, it's not that difficult to stay out on the outside, stuff takedowns. That's what Megan needs to do to be successful.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Terrence just added to the comment section that Megan Anderson is bad on the ground. You're right about that. But the thing is the Canadian going to be able to get the fight down on the mat?
Yeah, she's bad on the ground, but she's good in ground
Be,
and pound. So yeah, what's the choice? I think she has to go to the mat because there's a good possibility Spencer is
so
better.
she, yeah, sorry, yeah, but Felicia Spencer, they says she's a Brazilian black belt, so that's something you got to watch out for here.
Yeah, for sure. So undefeated UFC debut, Taekwondo and a Brazilian black belt. So interesting matchup coming up.
As you see, James Krause is in the back of Megan Anderson coming down the octagon.
No man, I missed that. It's very good.
Oh no, she's coming. She's coming down now. Do you see her?
No man, I'm I'm. You are in front of me. Take take a note of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him now.
So, what fight card are you looking most forward to in the upcoming events?
I was, yeah, for sure the Stockholm one because I'm gonna join that live. So that is one I'm looking forward to the most. I fly to Stockholm.
Yeah,
I fly to Stockholm in 1.5 week. It's very close to the Netherlands. It's only a 2 hour flight, and yeah, I look forward to that card, and also I look forward to the 238. I think that's Moraes versus Cejudo, and I think Moraes got a good chance to beat Cejudo.
yeah, man. Me too, man. I mean, Marlon, he has a lot more experience than Henry Cejudo. He's gonna be a lot bigger and have a reach advantage for sure.
Yeah, but Marlon is got the power advantage and the striking advantage over Cejudo. But
Yeah.
I give him a very good chance.
Cejudo, he's a gold medalist in wrestling, so that's always gonna play a role in his favor.
Yeah, but Moraes has got a good takedown defense.
Yeah, he was a World Series of Fighting former champ, now the PFL.
All right, both
So my
fighters, middle of the ring.
yeah, man, that's a tall girl, man.
Yeah, she's very tall, man.
Perfect type of physique for kickboxing. Long legs like that, long reach. That's a perfect physique you ask for it to be a fighter. All she needs to do is develop a good ground game and be able to stuff takedowns. That's why I think John Jones been so successful. He's real tall and long for the weight class, and he has a solid grappling game. So,
Solid all-round game, and that insane reach also.
and he has the perfect physique. Long legs, long arms. All that plays a big role in this fight here. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, what do you think about the Deontay Wilder fight coming on?
Yeah, it's coming on now.
Uh, not the main event. The fight card started, but the main event I think is gonna be later on.
Yeah, he's the king of the knockouts, man. So he's got a good opponent, but I if I recall correct, he got some 50 fights, 40 knockouts.
Yep, should be a good one.
And you can see that also in on Fight Pass.
So Anderson's on her back now. It's not looking good.
Oh, I have no stream anymore. So you have to take over the comment here.
Right. So the big takedown, landing a little ground and pound here. This is not a position that Megan Anderson wants to be in right now. Want a black belt in jiu-jitsu? You don't want this. She's trying to get a rear naked choke in, and I think she has it laced in. She taps out. Megan Anderson just tapped out.
No way, man.
Felicia Spencer gets it done on her debut.
In the first round, after 1 minute,
Yeah, man.
we can call this an upset. And we have to give credit to Terrence Hypo Nipple, yeah, who said Megan Anderson's bet on the ground, and she proved
He
it.
was definitely right about that. Wow. Was not expecting that. That's another loss on
That's,
the record for this card.
we
We
just
didn't see this happen.
no, nobody saw this happening. Everybody picked Megan Anderson in this one.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of people on my channel that left comments saying that they were worried about Megan Anderson hitting the mat. And he told me if the fight hits the floor, Megan Anderson could be submitted. And he was right, man.
Yeah, they were right, man. But I didn't saw this one coming, man.
I mean, I knew it was capable of happening, but I mean, first you have to get the fight to the ground to get the submission, or if he even lands some ground and pound. So it all comes down to the takedown defense. Sometimes they could get the takedown. Sometimes some fighters can't. In this case, takedown was there.
So we can call this some kind of upset, right?
Pretty much, it seems like most of the fights on the card were kind of upsets. A lot of underdogs won.
If you picked a few underdogs on this card, you be a rich
Could
man
have
now.
it make some good money for sure. Because Ed Herman was an underdog. That dude Michelle was a who made his debut and knocked out Danny Roberts. He was an underdog.
I think three underdogs won, 3 or 4.
Man, solid night for the underdogs, man.
Solid dog night.
Yeah.
All right, in between the fights here, with the co-host joins us tonight from the King of MMA channel. So
So
take a look at his channel for good breakdowns, predictions, and also doing some boxing predictions.
the co-main event here is gonna be between Antonio Carlos Jr. and Ian Heinisch. That fight will be coming up next.
That will be a good fight also, man. I like Ian Heinisch in that one. Who do you got?
Um, I like Antonio Carlos Jr. here. I think he just. I know Ian Heinisch. This is gonna be his second fight in the UFC, so he doesn't have too much experience fighting under the UFC. I just think that Antonio Carlos Jr. He's another fighter from an Ultimate Fighter season, and just think he has more experience, man, fighting under the UFC banner, and his Brazilian black belt in jiu-jitsu could play a big role in him winning this fight. But if the fight doesn't hit the ground, he will have trouble with Ian Heinisch because he's a real strong dude, packs a lot of power, and he's no slouch. He beat Cesar Ferreira, who was a high-ranked middleweight, so and he beat him on his debut. Yo, what Canadian weigh-ins? Oh, Felicia Spencer, yeah. You know, Canada, they always win. They tough. So, what made you take Ian Heinich in this fight?
Yeah, man. I picked another dog, but it seems I picked the wrong dogs tonight.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I've seen predicting this fight. A lot of people were high on Ian Heinich. I mean, I think I was one of the few that took Antonio Carlos Jr. I mean, I've seen a few people that predicted Antonio Carlos Jr., but again, a lot. It's not like no one was taking Ian Heinich. I could remember a lot of people, and I got a little grief on my YouTube channel about picking Antonio Carlos Jr. Also, some dude left a comment on there, and he was like, "Yo, you crazy? Are you taking Heinich? I mean, are you taking Junior?"
Yeah,
Dude
Heinz.
was,
Sorry.
I guess he didn't like the fact, that I took Antonio Carlos Jr.
Yeah, there are always people have another opinion, but it's picking, man. That's why it's called picking. You never
Exactly.
know.
Exactly. You can't, get mad at someone because they didn't pick the fighter they wanted you to pick. Everyone has their own opinions. That's the point of it.
I find that strange also. Why?
That's why I like to hear other people's opinions. That's why I like, to go through other channels and hear what are people who are they picking. I want to know. It's like people got different picks, man.
For sure,
And it always makes great conversation at the end of the day, though.
for sure, man. If you pick all pick the same fighters, then that's not a good thing.
So Arcade Chaos came in the chat here. He said DG suck. He said Dutch guy, who do you have for the main event?
I For the main event, Arcade Chaos, welcome, man. He's a regular also. He's also in the live streams on the Fight with Friends channel. I pick I go back and forward a lot on this one, man. Uh, and I picked eventually I picked Kevin Lee, but I'm not, it's not a certain pick, man, because RDA is yeah, we all know about RDA, man. He's a very good fighter. Uh, uh, People saying about his age and things, and about his losing streak. Look at the guys he fought, man. It's no shame to lose from that guys. So Kevin Lee coming up to 170. His cardio will be improving because his cardio not looking good against our Quinta, I think. So a lot of back and forth, but eventually I picked Lee. So who you got? What do you take on the main event?
Yeah, I totally gotta agree with you. I mean, I like Kevin Lee to win this fight, but like you said, I won't be surprised if RDA gets it done. I mean, you can't you can't count out a guy like RDA, a former lightweight champ. beat guys like Robbie Lawler, uh, beat Benson Henderson down on the Cowboys, Cerrone. So he beat the best of the best. Um, it was a tough fight to call, but I just think if Kevin Lee really sticks to what he knows best, the constant wrestling, he should be successful. But that's up to him to fight that fight. I mean, I seen on MMA Junkie on his interviews, he's just constantly talking about how he wants this war. So it's like, who knows what he's gonna do? Maybe he's probably gonna stand and bang with RDA. I'm hoping he doesn't. But that's the way he's seeming like he wants this fight. He wants a fight for the fans to remember. That's he said he hasn't had one of those fights yet, and that's what he's hoping for. And you know, if he stands and try to brawl RDA, I don't think it'd be that good for him to do that.
Uh,
Wouldn't be a good idea.
no, I think we have a short fight then.
Uh, but I hope he sticks to what he knows best. Go in for the takedown, use his strength and his wrestling. I mean, he was an NCAA Division II wrestler, so I mean, he has the wrestling credentials just like Usman. I mean, he was also a D2 wrestler. So I'll just say stick to the game plan and what he knows best. Take a play out of Usman and Kobe's book. You know, we know what RDA is good at, and we know what he's not good at.
Exactly.
So Terrence says, and guessing Kevin Lee. So Ian Hines just made his way into the octagon on my stream here.
Ian Hein is looking ripped, man.
Yeah, that dude. I mean, he's not the tallest guy in the weight class, but man, the dude's huge.
Looking ripped.
Yeah, man. Antonio Carlos Jr. is making his way down here. He's 9-2. He has I mean, he like I said, he's fighting the Ultimate Fighter. He's really known for that submission. He beat Eric Spicely from a rear naked choke. That's also a high level jiu-jitsu fighter. Oh wow, I meant 10-2 here. Sorry about that.
No problem, man. All right, Antonio
10,
Carlos Jr. Most
but he's on a
submission,
big,
most
big win
submission,
streak.
most submission wins in UFC middleweight history. Finished 9 out of 11 wins, all submissions, and he's got the third longest active UFC middleweight winning streak, 5 fights. So this guy is in good shape, man. Ranked
Yeah,
12.
number 14, right?
No, he's ranked 12. It says, but
12. Oh my bad. Yeah. Sorry for yeah. But you see that? I mean, his 4-fight win streak, or was it a 5-fight win streak? You said.
yeah, it was a 5-5 win streak. But never mind the statistics from the UFC because they are often they are not very accurate.
Yeah, but his 5-fight win streak. I mean, look at the level of guys he's beating. I mean, you can kind of say. I mean, it's padding. I mean, it's not like he beat the best guys. I mean, Tim Boach and Jack Marshman. I mean, Timbo's kind of almost at the end of his career, and Marshman, he's not that good of a fighter, bro. To be honest.
Yeah, that Marshman is.
I mean, he's a tough guy. He has 8 losses, but they
He,
should give him higher level competition.
I think also his last fight was he's got the decision, but it was a very close decision. And my feeling was his opponent, also the Irish guy, won that fight, but that was my feeling. So, but
What Irish guy?
he
Oh,
fought.
Jack Marshman.
Yeah, Jack Marshman fought another English guy or
Oh
Irish guy.
yeah, I remember that fight. Yeah, that was a war though. I mean, the dude dropped him in the first round, and Jack Marshman ended up walking away with a decision or something. The guy's name is John Phillips, right?
Yeah, John Phillips. You're right, man. Thank you. All right.
So the round just kicked off
Oh, don't say that, man. I am back.
a little bit behind. Yeah, about 30 seconds, I think,
Uh, because
difference.
otherwise we get a, otherwise we get a discrepancy here. All right. Both fighters middle of the ring. Carlos Jr. A lot of feints. Both fighters very active. Just feeling each other out a little. Good high kick from Carlos Jr. blocked by Ian Heinisch, and now they are in the clinch. Carlos Jr. looking strong, puts Ian Heinisch against the fence, and Jr. takes Heinisch down and is now in top position. Heinisch is very good in the standing up game, man. It's very strong, very powerful. So let's see.
Yeah, I mean, nice takedown by Carlos Jr. He's doing what he knows best, the ground. He's sticking to his game plan. This is where he wants to be, the smaller guy. Ian Heinisch working off his back.
For sure, man. And now he's got, he's trying to get coming into guard. And now he's in the guard. Ian Heinisch with his face against the fence. And I think you're going to see some elbows landing shortly, yeah? Got to posture up, but that's what I'm saying. Ian Heinisch is very strong in his stand-up game. And he's standing up, both fighters standing up, but Carlos Jr. is having the body lock now. But we see that in all Heinisch fights. He's very strong to with standing up game, man. And it's difficult to control. Carlos Jr. has very have to use very much energy to control him now. Both fighters against the fence. Body lock from Carlos Jr. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. First round. Will you give this round so far, King?
I'm liking what Antonio Carlos Jr. is doing here, man. I got a score for him so far in this fight, getting the takedowns and having more control of this fight here.
Yeah, got to agree with you, man. He's more control time than Ian Heinisch. Ian
Yeah,
Heinisch is more on the defense. So I think with 1 minute and 45 seconds on the clock. If nothing crazy happens, this round will go to Carlos Jr. Carlos Jr. with a good takedown again. Yeah, both fighters spending a lot of energy. So we have to see what the next round's gonna bring.
Yeah, I have to be say that I'm really impressed with Ian Heinich. To get out of these
Yeah,
type of positions with a tough black belt like this, that just shows how high level of a fighter he is.
yeah, that's a good point, man. It's very impressive how he uh, how he implements his game plan against Carlos Jr. But this is dangerous. Carlos Jr. got hooks in, but can't reach the neck of Heinrich because Heinrich defends. So Carlos Jr. now on the back of Heinrich, but Heinrich rolls him off, and very good defense. Now he's got the neck of Ian Heinrich, and this is dangerous, man. But Heinrich still escapes again with 25 seconds on the clock. He's a good defense on Heine's part. Do you think?
Yeah, man.
Very impressive.
Uh, Very. I mean, one thing you got to take into consideration now, I mean, going in close to the second round is how much energy that Antonio Carlos Jr. use, on these scrambles. So, we've seen him fatigue before against Daniel Kelly. You never know; it could be the same thing here in this fight. He he likes to get the finish early. Carlos Jr. is not really known for, he's like, if he doesn't get the submission, you have a better chance of winning the fight against him.
Yeah, I have to agree with that assessment. So first round going to Carlos Jr. But very strong guy, Ian Heinisch.
Yeah, and they said he had a real rough past. I think he got in trouble a lot with the law, with some kind of smuggling thing
Uh,
he was doing. So, he had a little rough past, but kind of changed his life around just for the love of MMA. And I got to respect that, man.
yeah, you gotta respect that for sure.
And, it's his life turned around for the best. And now he's fighting on the UFC. So,
All right, second round on the way. Both fighters middle of the ring. Let's see what's gonna happen here now.
I mean, this is where Ian Heinrich is going to have more success here. As long as the fight is on his feet, he will have more success here.
Both fighters beginning slow on the second round because I think they have spent a lot of energy. I see some heavy breathing from Carlos Jr. also. Ian Heinisch with a big overhand, but partially blocked by Carlos Jr. I think you're gonna see Heinisch coming, putting on some pace on Jr. now. Ooh, good left hand, and Carlos Jr. says he's received the eye poke, ducking under a punch, and got the body lock on Heinisch again against the fence. Yeah, 3 minutes 17 seconds on the clock now.
Man, Ian Heinrich submission defense is something spectacular right now, man. I mean, Antonio Carlos can't even get his hooks in, dude.
He's a legit black belt. and he's got a lot of trouble getting his hooks and his setups in on Heinisch. So Heinisch is very good submission defense, man. I didn't know that, man. As,
Yeah, man, I'm really impressed with this guy's submission defense, man.
all right, you got to. If you look tomorrow, viewers look this fight back. You can learn something about decent, legit submission defense, man. This guy is very good. Both fighters against the fence. 2 minutes 20 seconds to go, and Carlos Jr. again got the body lock on Heinisch.
Wow, looks like the tables are a little turning here.
All right, for once Heinisch top position now, and some kind of side control, and landing some soft shots on the head of Carlos Jr. But Carlos Jr. got the body lock, but I think Heinz can control him here with his strength. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. And still Heinz on top. Very good BJJ game. Very, very good.
Yeah, man, I'm impressed here. I mean, this is a fight that Antonio Carlos Jr. doesn't want to have, you know.
No, man. And
Being,
yeah, you're right. I don't. I think he don't expect it also. This Ian
yeah, I
Heinisch.
mean,
Oh, sorry.
Carlos Jr. keeps looking at the referee for for him to do something. Dude needs to just fight, man.
Yeah, but that's not a good sign, man. Looking at the referee or looking at the clock.
Yeah, I mean, going into this fight so far, you got to. I mean, I scored it around a piece. Ian Heinisch takes round two. Carlos take round one, man.
I have to agree with you on that 100% because Heinisch had a lot of control time in this round and really bringing
He
the
put
fight to Carlos Jr. So I think one apiece for sure. Both 10-9 rounds.
it's gonna come down to who wants it more here. Who got more in the gas tank? Who's more prepared for the fight? I mean, this is so far been a great fight. One round apiece. Who wants it more? You know,
Yep.
this where conditioning plays a big factor in a fight. Because if you don't have anything in your gas tank, you can't perform, man. It's like cardio is probably the biggest, you know, one of the biggest things you need in MMA. The
Yeah.
most important thing.
Cardio is king, man. Without it, you will be gassed out within 1 minute. And also, when I started to do some BJJ with all my kickbox experience, and I had a very good gas tank, but BJJ is you need another gas tank because people laying on you, they're putting weight on you. It's another kind of gas tank.
Yeah, man. You're right. You're nothing without a gas tank, really.
All right, third round, one apiece. So whoever wins this round will win the match. Both fighters middle of the ring. Good jab from Carlos Jr. He's coming back with a body shot. Oh, good short left hook from Carlos Jr. Dropped Heinrich, but he's very quick on the feet again. Ooh, that was a hard hook from Heinrich. I think he got Carlos Jr. rocked there. Let's see. Good low kick from Heinisch. I think Carlos Jr. is a little rocked by that hook. I think he's hurt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for
Great
sure.
fight so far.
He rocked him. Heinisch rocked Jr. for sure. But he's not pulling the pace. I think he doesn't know it. He doesn't know he rocked him. And now a groin shot, a knee on the groin of Heinisch. I think Heinisch didn't know he rocked him, but he was for sure he rocked. He was rocked. Let's see in the replay. No, it was above the groin. I think it was not exactly right on the cup.
That you nasty foul, man. Dirty game.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man.
All right.
I'm watching the fight. Behind
All right. Fighters back home, back at it. Uh, 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Let me adjust that. All right. Clock is adjusted. And Heinisch again with the control. Good knee from Heinisch. And Carlos Jr. trying to get a single leg here. And I think he's going to pull it off, the single leg. Now he's going to sweep. No, Heinisch, very good control, man. He sprawls and defend the takedown. Very tough guy to take down, man. Carlos Jr. again with the body lock against the fence, but Carlos Jr. looking very gassed, man. I think he's gassed. I think Heinisch is gonna win this fight, man.
Yeah, it looks like it, man. He's having more control in this third round, and it looked like he might be more conditioned than
Yeah,
Antonio Carlos Jr. Better gas tank.
for sure, man. He's looking. He's breathing heavily. Also, I saw him breathe heavy in the second round already. So I think Heinisch will grind it out. Heinisch in top position now, landing some shots and half guard. Try to get to the side control. But I think if he's smart, he just grind this out and he will win the fight. 2 minutes on the clock. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's smart.
I
He's
mean
push.
Carlos Jr. needs to make a big move here. He needs to get on top. He needs to change.
Yeah, he can't, man. He's gassed out, man. Good reversal. What am I saying? Carlos Jr. now on top. That was not smart from Heinisch, man. But that's
The
not.
nice scrambles being displayed here.
Yeah, good scrambles, man. If you like BJJ and if you like transitions, I advise you to watch this fight back tomorrow or tonight. It's very high level defense and attack, grappling attacks you see here. Now Carlos Jr. got the back from Heinisch. No, Heinisch reverse it and he's in half guard now, but he wants to pass, and I think he must take no risk and just grind it out. Only 50 seconds on the clock, man. Don't do anything. Just grind it out and you win the match. What do you think, King of MMA?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm impressed by his performance here, man. I mean, he shows he has a lot more in his gas tank than Antonio Carlos Jr. I know this is his second fight in the UFC, but now that's a guy you got to keep an eye out on now.
For sure. I think we're going to see more from him. And
Definitely.
If he wins, I will score my second underdog pick now for this evening. So that's not too bad either. All right, 10
Not
seconds
bad
on
at
the clock.
all.
No, not bad at all, man. We got off to a rocky start. So, all right, man. Some good strikes landing from Heinisch at the end of the round, and the fight is over. And yeah, my feeling is Heinisch won that fight. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, you never know in judges here, but clearly it looks like Heinich deserves the W for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Carlos Jr. He had a good game plan going into this fight, but Heinich he just shows the submission defense, and I mean this guy's a high level grappler also, man.
Yeah, he's a good submission defense, high level grappler, and I saw also some decent striking. But yeah, he's come to be a good, well-rounded fighter, man. And like you said, it's only his third UFC fight, so I'm very impressed.
Yeah, definitely. Make a second fight like that. I mean, against two tough prospects like Antonio Carlos Jr. and beating Cesar Ferreira, that just shows he's a guy to be. I mean, to keep your eye out on. He's gonna be somewhere in the top 10 in the middleweight divisions pretty soon if he keeps up the route he's going now. He's gonna be a top 10 middleweight for sure.
Yeah, got to
And
agree with
that's
that.
another. And that's a guy you gotta definitely stop making picks against. That's a guy you gotta. That's a guy you gotta pick to win. Because now I know I learned my lesson. Don't pick against Ian Heinrich. You're gonna lose.
Yeah. You asked me before the fight
You're going to lose.
why you pick Ian Heinisch. I,
Hey, that you
I
got
be
it.
I
A
be
lot
all,
of people went. I've heard a lot of people go Heinrich too, but and then I see why, man.
you never know, man. You never know. So let's see decision here, but I think Heinisch will win. 29-28, unanimous decision. Ian Heinisch. Yeah, well deserved, man. Well deserved. Unanimous
Yeah,
also.
man.
What do you
It.
think?
You, yeah, got hats off to him, man. He deserved that W. He worked hard for that win.
Yeah, he worked hard for sure.
I mean, he didn't just give him a win. He had to work hard. That's why in this sport, sometimes you got to go with the guys, that are the underdogs. You don't always have to go to favorite. It just shows on this card. All the huge favorites, they pretty much, they lost, man.
Yeah, this straight underdog card, this one, man.
Yeah, man.
If you pick
With Felicia,
if you pick the
Felicia,
underdogs, you will be a rich man tonight.
Zach Cummins, that was an underdog pick. Patrick Cummins against Ed Herman. Ed Herman was an underdog.
I think,
Megan Anderson against Felicia Spencer, another underdog one.
yeah, I think four underdogs won on this card tonight. That's insane, man.
I hope Kevin Lee delivers, man. We need this one, man.
Yeah, next fight coming up, the main event. Kevin Lee going up to 170.
I'm 6-6 for the card, man. That's how I've been going for the last couple couple weeks, like the last 3 weeks. I've been like, I get like 6-6, 7-7, or like something like that, man. I get one right, one wrong, one right, one wrong.
That's not bad,
But
50%.
but the thing is, you know, it really comes down to what fights. I mean, if you're a better or whatnot, what fights you bet. I mean, most of the fights on this card, the odds were so like lopsided. It wasn't really no point even betting. I mean, the only fight that I might want to bet on is the Kevin Lee RDA fight. I mean, even though it's a pretty even fight, I just think that Kevin Lee with the right game plan wins.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're right, man. But I'm at the point I don't pick anymore now. All right,
Yeah, I
guys.
mean, it it really isn't for everyone, you know. Betting, you can win a lot and you can lose a lot.
For sure. It's just what you say, man. It's which fight you pick.
But DraftKings ain't that bad, you know.
Yeah, DraftKings is a good one, but
But I heard some things about it like it was rigged or something.
no, that can be, man. That
Like like they had a lot of like bots that like robots that just pick random picks and all and do shit like that to give you less chance of winning.
no,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think
Oh,
that's possible because you pick who you pick, right?
I don't know. I've seen some things, some reviews or whatnot on YouTube where people, what so called,
Yeah, I know there was a big investigation at the PokerStars website, and that was rigged. They had to pay a big fine from 50 million or something because there was some things found there that was not appropriate. The PokerStars website.
yeah. So we're getting into the moment we all been waiting for, the main event here.
I like to see what's the difference in Kevin Lee's cardio and Kevin Lee's power at 170. He was never a small 150, 155. So I think he's gonna look big tonight.
Yeah, man. Let's see if his condition is gonna be better since he didn't have to make a big weight cut to 155. You know, he always, kind of complained about the big weight cut he had to make.
All right, guys. Main event: Kevin Lee, Rafael dos Anjos. Kevin Lee making his way to the octagon as we speak. So this gonna be a good one. And I did some research. From the last 10 main events, only 3 fights gone the distance, the full 5 rounds. So I hope we're gonna see a 5 round fights again now. Most main events, one first round or second round, they were done. So I hope for a 5 round scrap now. What do you think? Kevin Lee takedowns in 13 of his last 14 UFC fights. So he's actually taking all his opponents down. 8 wins by submission and 5 wins by rear naked choke. So that says it all. Kevin Lee enters the octagon.
Think Ian Hines goes from here? Who do you think they should match him up with?
Hey, turn off your microphone, man.
Now I'm saying, who do you think he should fight now, Ian Hines, after the big win?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't
He
know.
beat number 12. You think he should fight a dude like maybe Cannoneer? Think that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, that's good. That can be a good fight for him.
But maybe they want to do bigger things for Jared since he beat Anderson, I guess. Or I don't know. Maybe they got bigger plans for him. You never know. I mean, what do you think about the whole matchmaking in the UFC? You think they could do a better job, or you think that they're doing well at what they're doing right now?
Yeah, they are doing well. I think we're gonna see some good fights, and with the ESPN deal, uh, helps also with matchmaking because they they don't have to stack the cards anymore because they are also have the guaranteed revenue from with the ESPN deal.
Yeah.
All right, Rafael dos Anjos making his way to the octagon now. Masters of World Deception, what's up, man? Just in time for the main event. Thank you for joining us. All right. Ta-
So we got RDA with the creepy mustache coming back.
yeah, man. I think he is doing auditioning for the new seasons of Narcos. It looks like
Yeah.
he looks like a Narcos actor now. All right, guys. Both fighters in the ring. Tail of the tape. RDA, age 34, 26. Kevin Lee, height is almost the same. 5'8" against 5'9" Kevin Lee. reach advantage is a 7-inch reach advantage for Kevin Lee. So we'll see if he's gonna take advantage of that reach advantage. What do you think the game plan for RDA is in this one?
RDA game plan for this fight, he needs to be able to stay on the outside, stay in striking range, be able to stuff the takedowns. You really uses his leg kicks because that's where he's really good at. He's really well at chopping down them legs, as you've seen against Robbie Lawler, and I think that's gonna play a big key factor in this fight. Land the leg kicks, makes up the 1-2s, stay basic, but you know
I think that's a very good assessment.
what do you think Kevin Lee needs to do here to be successful and get in the W?
I think not gonna be on the feet because RDA with the devastating leg kicks. Yeah, striking wise, maybe RDA little bit better, not much, but yeah, he's have to use his reach, man. If you have a 7-inch reach advantage, you have to use your reach. And I think against a good striker, use a lot of push kicks, a lot of straight jabs to to create the distance and then take him down. Because I
Yep.
feel RDA has a little bit advantage in the striking department. But that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, Kevin Lee, a lot of people sleep on his stand up. Don't give him the credit he deserves. But we seen him training in the Mayweather gym before. He has decent boxing, and I'm pretty sure he keeps improving. So his stand up has came a long way.
Yeah, that's right. His stand-up is still improving and it has came a long way indeed. All right, guys. Main event. 5 rounds. RDA versus Kevin Lee. And it's gonna start right now. All right. Heavy kicks from RDA, but blocked by Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee, ooh, good high kick from Kevin Lee. Striking in the middle of the ring, both fighters. Ooh, uh, Kevin Lee already has the
Beautiful,
takedown.
beautiful. That's what we wanted.
That's both fighters going at it. And Kevin Lee tried to take the back from RDA, and Kevin Lee takes the back and has the body lock on RDA. But Kevin Lee is partially standing with his own back against the fence. So good hooks from Kevin Lee here. Uh, Great match, man. Body kick,
Back on the feet.
body kick blocked by RDA. Good striking. Good 1-2 landed by Kevin Lee here. Uh, that's what you're saying. His striking has come a long way. Good body kick landed also by Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee looking good, man. Good uppercut. And Kevin Lee attempting a single leg here. But RDA stops it. It's a bit of a stalemate against the fence. Not much happening.
Uh, so far, a great start to this fight. This is where Kevin Lee wants the fight to be right here, close, inside. RDA looks like to work Kimura there. But this is how Kevin Lee wants this fight. Just how Usman and Kobe had him pretty much the entire fight, back against the cage, making him work. Making him more fatigued going into the later rounds. Kevin Lee's not doing too much here, but he is having control time here. And that scores big in the judges' eyes here. Nice underhooks in by RDA. He turns Kevin Lee around. Kevin Lee gets back in position. This was kind of the fight that I was knowing that was going to happen. It's a great game plan by Kevin Lee. So Kevin Lee's trying to work a single leg takedown here. Look like RDA slip, maybe. Nice knee in there by Kevin Lee. Nice right. Oh, nice 1-2 by Kevin Lee. Big head kick by RDA lands.
Takedown from Los
Nice.
Anjos.
Nice.
30
Nice
seconds
takedown
on
by
the clock.
RDA. Kevin Lee needs to watch out for a choke here. RDA has solid submissions. Tapped out Neil Magny. Tough round, but I have to score it for Kevin Lee here, 10-9, I think.
I
Just
think
off
you're
of control time.
I think you're right.
If Kevin Lee could keep up this pace for 5 rounds, I think he get edge out of decision. But the question is, can he?
Can
We've seen him we've seen him fatigue before. I mean, when he fought Ally Quinta, he kind of got gassed out a little bit in that fight.
Yeah, he gets out, but Quinta putting a lot of pace on him, and also the same Dos Anjos now doing.
Yeah, I mean, RDA is showing that. I mean, his grappling is just as good as Kevin Lee. I mean, he can stuff the takedown. He got a takedown of his own. Um, so far, it's an interesting fight. Gonna see how it plays out going into the later rounds. Because fight isn't over. Just off the first round, a lot of things change going into the later rounds. You could be winning the first 2 rounds, but
All right, second round on the way. Yeah, I got to agree with your assessment there.
nice body kick. And one thing you got to take into consideration from that first round is how much energy did Kevin Lee use?
Good point. Ooh, big slam takedown from Kevin Lee, but Dos Anjos RDA sweeps him, and now Kevin Lee got the body lock. Dos Anjos with his back against the fence.
Um, I think Kevin Lee here needs to really be careful with the takedowns. He's leaving his neck open, and RDA has very dangerous submissions.
Yeah, I saw that also. Good point. He's very open on his takedown, on his grappling defense. So both fighters out of the clinch, middle of the ring, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Both fighters are using jabs a lot. Ooh, good head kick from RDA. And I see a little bit heavy breathing by Kevin Lee already now. I think he's guessing. What do you think, King?
Yeah, it looks like he's slowing down, and it looks like those head kicks, they're not landing clean, but he's still getting dazed by it, I think.
You have to watch the chest of Kevin Lee and his breathing pattern. You see, he's heavy breathing already now. Only fought 7 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, this is not the fight that Kevin Lee wants right now. I mean, the longer the fight goes on, I think Kevin Lee he tends to slow down, and it looks like it already going into the
Yeah.
second round.
Yeah, watch his breath, his chest. You can see it in his chest. He's breathing. Right,
Even his movement.
good high kick from Kevin Lee. I think he's somewhat recovering now. Good push kick from Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee flourished now, but I think it's smart for him to grind this round out and not using a lot of energy so he can come back the third round. What do you think?
Yes, sir. I gotta agree with you.
And Dos Anjos against the fence. He's trying to get a Kimura on Kevin Lee, and at the moment there's kind of stalemate. And the Sanjos still attempting the Kimura. Kevin Lee attempting a takedown, but good sprawl by the Sanjos there.
I mean, I would like to see Kevin Lee commit more to the takedown and try to hold position and, just get more control time here. I mean, he's just really just having his back against the cage RDA, and he's not doing anything really. He's not scoring by doing this. I mean,
Yes, I see it. I see it the same way. He's just defending.
RDA, even though his back is against the clinch, he's scoring a little bit knees and he's scoring a little strikes inside. And also, if you're a judge, you know you gotta score for the guy who's defending also the takedowns. I mean, those you gotta add points for that. For as many takedown defenses. I mean, as many takedowns that he shot in for Kevin Lee, he defended them well.
Big shots from RDA landing, man. A good push kick from Kevin Lee. Good hook over the top from Kevin Lee. And Kevin Lee shoots for the takedown and RDA spalls it again with only 20 seconds on the clock. Who you got for this round? I feel this was a very close round. Who you got?
Very close round, but I think RDA to me was doing a little bit more damage here. I kind of like RDA winning this round.
I have the same feeling, man. I think it's 1 round apiece now. And look at the breathing from Kevin Lee now. You see, it's very heavy breathing
Yeah,
now.
going into his corner, he looks winded. He looks like how he looks against Ally Quinn again. Now it looks like he doesn't want to be in there anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, in my opinion, it looks like all right. He had enough fun, and now he wants to go. RDA is just getting warmed up. I think he's probably going to be doing a lot better as the fight continues. I like to see Kevin Lee actually get a takedown, and hold position and score off of that. But I mean, RDA takedown defense is on point tonight.
yeah, for sure, man. All right, third round. one round apiece. As I scored it, I also King scored it. Also 1 round apiece. So we're gonna see a important third round. Kevin Lee beating Heavy again. Third round started. Both fighters middle of the ring. And you see the pace dropping. Both fighters dropping the pace. Good body kick from Kevin Lee. Good left jab from RDA back. Ooh, Kevin Lee is guessing big time. I told you,
Oh
easy takedown.
wow, big
Easy
takedown.
takedown from RDA. Easy. He,
It looks like he's working for one of his signature submission in an arm triangle.
yep, he's trying to fish for an arm triangle or Kimura. I predict you now, mark my words. When this go to the fourth round, Dos Anjos gonna finish him because Kevin Lee is gassed out. Oh,
Yeah, man.
Kevin
You
Lee,
can't count Kevin Lee out yet, but it's not looking like it's gonna go in his favor here. He's still dangerous. He's still a tough guy, but the way it's looking, Kevin Lee is breathing heavy. Kevin Lee, he also has a
oh,
nice rear naked choke.
Kevin Lee got the back from RDA here, and his arm is not really under the neck, but yeah, he gives up the attempt.
Now RDA's looking to take his back.
Yep, 2.5 minutes in the round, and RDA pushing Kevin Lee against the fence and fishing for a takedown here, and he gets it. Not a takedown from RDA, easy takedown. That's a fourth takedown from the Santos man. He's winning this fight. He's just gonna grind this round out, and then he is 2 rounds to one. Both fighters against the fence. Kevin Lee with his back against the fence, and now he reversed, and now RDA with his back against the fence, but not really much happening now.
Yeah. Looks like RDA is the fresher fighter so far.
Yeah, 100% agreed. RDA looks like the man with the bigger gas tank, so all the people saying we're gonna see a big difference in the gas tank of Kevin Lee because he's not having to cut so much weight. And I was also one of them. Uh, that's not the case.
Maybe the extra weight that he's carrying, maybe he's making him more tired. Who knows how his body really react to it?
Good point.
You know, this is his first debut at 170.
Good point. Can be easy. Can be the case.
And again, it really comes down who's gonna have more in the gas tank than who wants it more.
And
A lot, a lot of people sleep on Kevin Lee's rear naked choke. Also, yeah, he tapped out Michael Chiesa, who's a pretty solid submission fighter. So
yes, good,
Ke-
good
Kevin Lee
point.
could get the hooks in. He could possibly, do some damage if he could get a rear naked choke on RDA. But that's staying around 3, right?
Yeah, I think RDA for this round.
Me too. 2-1. RDA got 2 rounds in the books. I think Kevin Lee won the first round. And plus, the judges, they don't really, I don't think they like Kevin Lee too much. I mean, when he went to Ally Quinta, he lost a decision. He's always losing decisions. He lost twice to Ally Quinta in a decision.
Yep, good point.
RDA, I mean, even though he has a 2-fight losing streak, he shows he's hungry to get this W, man. Sometimes you see guys going on a little, losing streak. They go on a little skid. Sometimes it's hard to want to take a bet on them, but sometimes they come out hungry for a win. They're maybe tired of losing. Maybe Kevin Lee will be feeling that next time if he loses here.
All right, guys, fourth round on the way, and it's got we scored both 2-1 for RDA. So let's see what happened. Kevin Lee looks like he's a little bit recovered from the gassing, but both fighters giving a lot of energy. Very good body kick, and
Low blow.
low blow. Unfortunate low blow because they were both kicking on the same time. So nobody's fault. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man.
They're back at it. Oh, wow.
All right, adjusting the clock here for you guys. And RDA, Kevin Lee on the back of RDA, but RDA fighting the hands. And this round very equal. Both very skilled. Good body kick from Kevin Lee. Power shot. Good low kick back from RDA. Inside low kick. And both fighters middle of the ring. Good body kick again from Kevin Lee, partially blocked. And Kevin Lee with a single leg attempt. RDA defends it against the fence. And a bit of stalemate here with 2 minutes 40 seconds to go. Not happening much. So what's your take on this round so far, King?
So far, I think Kevin Lee is doing what he needs to do. He's tying him up, put his back against the cage. As long as he can keep him here longer and longer, is the better for Kevin Lee here. If he can keep this fight for the next round, he could possibly edge out a decision. That's if he keeps this position here.
Yeah, good point. All right,
But
both
if he
fighters.
can't keep the, I mean, the more the fight's on the feet and they're not grappling, I think RDA is gonna have more of an advantage to win.
Yes, RDA definitely has the little edge on the ground. Right, another single leg attempt from Kevin Lee, but he's not getting getting RDA down, and now RDA is in a top position, half guard, and Kevin Lee looking a little gassed again, but try to escape here. 125 on the clock, and now
Uh-oh, it looks like he has the
RDA,
arm
yeah,
triangle here.
that's it. Uh, yes, yeah, that's a tap from Kevin Lee. I told you, fourth round. I told you, man.
RDA, he gets it done again, man. The mustache, I guess, brought good luck this
The,
fight, man.
the narco mustache for the W.
Yeah, man. Kevin Lee. Wow, man. He looked good for one round, like he always does.
Yeah, exactly for one round. And in the second round, I told you in the second round, early in the second round, he looks gassed, man. And he was gassed, and he had a little bit recovery in the third, but no, he was
Yeah,
gassed.
so we got a comment in here from Genius here. He says news. So yeah, man. Another
Comedic
one
G.
wrong. Going with Kevin Lee. Thought he'd be able to get it done, but he just doesn't have what it takes in the cardio department, man.
For sure, man.
Couldn't keep up. He just couldn't keep up.
My man, Comedic Genius. What's up, Comedic? Thank you for joining us for the last part of the stream, man. How are you doing?
Well, man, it was a great night of fights, though, man. You know,
Yeah, great night of fights, man. Underdog, the underdog night. We can call it the underdog night, man.
definitely can, man. Definitely can. I
What's up?
felt pretty confident going into this card. I thought the big favorites was gonna win, but boy, was I wrong, man.
Yeah, I, uh, I have, I'm now 3 from 8, man. That's very bad. I picked three
Yeah.
fights from 8. So that's
So
very bad,
they
man.
had, how many fights was on the card today? They had
Six
13.
fights.
I had 6 right and 7 wrong. Not bad. I mean, horrible. Sometimes it happens. That's the love of the game, man. You
Yeah,
just got
love
to
of the
take
game.
it and keep pushing and keep trying the next card.
For sure, man. Comedic genius, just relaxing, the usual, giving my hand a break from all the porn. Can use your other hand, man. That's a great guy, comedic genius. Also, always having a good comments. Yeah, man.
RDA, man. Great
RD,
performance.
RDA, very good performance, and I think Kevin Lee has to go back to the drawing board, man. Every fight the same. Looking good the first round, and then slowly gassing out.
Yes, sir.
I have to get maybe change camp or something because his cardio, man. Oh yeah,
Definitely. He's been training at Extreme Couture, right?
yeah, that's right.
Maybe who knows? Maybe he's been partying too much in Vegas. I don't know, man. Maybe you're right. He might need a different training camp.
Uh, he just
Maybe he'll
trains.
be more hungrier his next fight because he'd be on a little losing streak. Maybe he'd be in RDA shoes. RDA showed he was hungry for this one.
All right, man. Strange night of fights, man. A lot of favorites lost. RDA is giving his interview. He's looking quite fresh. He's not any have any marking in his face also.
Yeah, look fresh,
Yeah,
like
he
he
looked
could go
fresh,
and
man.
he's ready for another 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's why the way he looked like. Yeah, that's I find that strange for a man
Yeah, I mean
his age.
Kevin Lee, he didn't look like he did too much besides just grab him against the cage. He didn't really his takedowns. I mean, wasn't there. I don't know. It was a big win for sure for RDA. I mean, I don't know where he goes from here. Is he going to stay at welterweight or go back in the lightweight?
Yeah, man. That's
Because
good.
I mean, he has had trouble with the bigger welterweights. I mean, those guys, they are a lot bigger than Kevin Lee. Also, like guys like Usman and Kobe, they're a lot bigger than Kevin Lee. So that's probably why he really struggled with those guys at 170. I think at 155, he can make another comeback maybe.
Yeah, good point, man. That's interesting to see what's gonna
What's
happen with
next?
him. Who do you think
Yeah,
RDA must fight next, in your opinion?
I mean, it all depends on what weight class he stays at. If he stays at 170, I wouldn't mind him fighting a guy like Santiago Ponzinibbio. Santiago's been calling for that fight for a while, and I don't think Santiago has a fight lined up. So I think he's kind of free. And now RDA's off of a win, and Santiago's off of a win. It makes sense. And RDA, he didn't really take too much damage in this fight, so he can make a quick turnaround also. So, I mean, he could probably take a vacation for a few months and get right back in to fighting Santiago.
Yeah, good point, man. That will be a great fight also.
And
Also,
Santiago, he's been calling for that one for a while.
9 finishes this card, man. That's a
But a
lot.
fight I always did want to see RDA in against Damian Maya. I don't know if they'll give him that fight,
Uh,
but I will always I've been wanting to watch that one for a while.
but I see Damian Maya's outside the top 10. I think so. I
Yeah,
I think that's what's
but
gonna happen.
I mean, they both lost to the same guys. It kind of makes sense. They both lost to Kobe. They both lost to Usman. So
So Felicia Spencer defeated Megan Anderson. Ian Hines defeated Antonio Carlos Jr. and RDA defeated Kevin Lee by fourth round submission, man. 8 finishes this card. That's insane, man.
yes, sir.
That's insane. All right, guys. My co-host, King of MMA, joining us tonight. Take a look at his channel also. Uh, I think we're gonna wrap it up, King. Do you have any?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any comments to end the night?
Oh no, man! But it was a great night of fights, and I'll be looking forward to do this again sometime, man.
Yeah, we for sure gotta do this again, man. Next week we have no cards. After that we have the Stockholm card. That's also a great card with Gustafsson fighting Smith. I will be live at that event. I will be streaming live. So take a look. Take a look. Be on the lookout for that also. And after the Stockholm event, which card is after the Stockholm event? I think it's Cejudo versus Moraes after the
Yep.
Stockholm event.
UFC what 238.
Yeah. Did you have any information on that?
Um, yeah, I'm gonna be when the fight's a little bit close to happening, I'm gonna break down that fight card. But so far, I'm really focused on the Gus and Smith Stockholm card. So yeah, I kind of take one card at a time.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do because yeah, a lot of people don't realize it's a lot of work to keep up, to make a breakdown and to keep your channel updated, and it's gonna take a lot of time, man. It's not just
Yes,
doing a breakdown. You have to study for that. You have to research for that, man. A lot of people uh, don't realize that. So I also do one card at a time because otherwise it will be too big of a task to do that. So
yep.
so all the viewers, I thank you for watching. King, I thank you for co-hosting this stream with me, and I'm gonna Skype you after we go offline. I'm gonna Skype you. We can talk. We can talk a little. So again, all of you, thanks for watching, and MMA Newsroom from Amsterdam, King of MMA from uh,
All right.
from uh, Memphis. I
Yes,
could,
sir.
we are signing off, man. All viewers,
All right.
thanks. We're out of here.
See.